Włączyliśmy umysły?
My mieliśmy w sobotę
On jak robi D&D?
on też
Aha. Russian speaking D&D. That's crazy.
actually we are talking Russian most of the time. It happens to be that I'm
Hello.
Hello.
I'm trying to see whether everyone played the games. Did you play the games?
Not all.
Okay. Did you play the games? Okay. Did you play the game? Did you play?
No. I have no idea where to find them actually.
I posted in the Discord. They can be found on each page of the jam, and that page is actually not that hard to find. Let's see if we can do it. Yes, it's here. Since not everyone played them, I think it will be fair if I just give a very short rundown of them all. Wait. Oppa. So I will just do a very fast recap of what happened. Is there someone from this game, actually? Okay, I'll be short about this then. This is a game about, I guess, being trapped in a mountain, and the main gimmick was time switching mechanic. So this is basically a platformer, but with the twist that sometimes there are areas where you have to switch dimensions. If someone played Titanfall 2, for example, this might sound familiar. Basically, there are puzzles that can be only solved when you try to go to a parallel timeline. Okay, so I guess this is the main mechanic where you just switch between timelines. So, for example, the stone here was obstructing our path, and now it's not. And for example, here the lift is broken. Boom, now we are free to move. Okay, so that's the first game. They're not here, so yeah, we already quit it. Next. This is a game about a dragon. A dragon from a place deep down in
In
Austria.
forgotten ages, the swamp endured.
I
Shrouded
guess
in
you
mist
cannot
and
skip the
silence.
cutscene.
There
Oh.
dwelled.
I guess you can talk about it since you made it. So you can change the direction in which you're firing your attacks, and you can switch your attacks because they are of different types, and different types of attacks deal different amount of damage to different enemies. So, for example, these guys are prone to the ice attack because they freeze to death, and that's why I'm using it right now on them. They're getting absolutely plowed upon, and now I use the fire attack because they are knights and they burn to death in their armor. So yeah, that's basically the main idea. It's kind of like Vampire Survivors, but more about elemental damage and I guess also manual control instead of automatic attacking. And yeah, I lost. I'm bad at the game. Do you want to add something? Okay. Let's go to the next one then. Is there someone from this team? No. Okay, then let's make it quick as well. This game is a tower defense. Its main gimmick is that you have to gather resources during the day. Hold on, it's very loud. Someone did not do the sound mastering properly. Yeah, this should be better. Oh. Okay, yes. So as you can see, I'm the small person hopping over some tiles, and I'm gathering resources during the day so that I can fight the waves throughout the night. Different types of resources give you different types of abilities. And as you can see in the top right corner, I only have a set amount of steps remaining, so that I cannot collect everything that I would wish for. Let's just get this to the end. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Now there is the evening phase where I have to place my defenses. So for example, I placed a totem, or like, I don't remember what it's called, but basically you can see that I have the amount of wood that I gathered, and I have other resources as well, which I can also turn to some other traps, perhaps, like these. And now, if I'm ready, I press space, yes. And then it's the actual tower defense phase, where they come in and you have to defend yourself from the enemies. Yeah, you cannot speed this up, unfortunately. So I'm just gonna show you like this part, because I will not wait for this guy. Maybe if they were here, but true, but not good enough to stay playing this game. Actually, now that I think about it, do the people who did not play the games know what the project was about? Yes, yes. You? Be honest, be honest. I see, welcome.
We're trying to know people that we don't know.
You try to what?
Get to know people.
Oh, of course, that's why we're here. So basically the project was about creating a game based on the Austrian culture, because it was in collaboration.
Yeah, so Jack's Facebook.
Awesome, cool. So that's why the topics are, I guess, this specific. So the games that I showed previously were all about like different legends and myths, right? And the timelines look as follows. Teams are formed, the topics are written out. They've got like around a month to prepare some documents for how the game should look. We give them feedback. They try to, I guess, interpret the feedback and make some changes. Then there is a game jump, 48 hours. And after the game jump, we do another round of feedback. And then after this time, they have another month to prepare the final product. And these are the games that were showcased after the total of 2 months of work. So, yeah, this is not only from the game jam, this is after being polished.
Yeah, I was like a bit familiar with game jams, so.
No, but I'm explaining the formula because we asked them to continue working on the games for another month. So usually after a game jam, not all games are working, and this was also the case, but then they fixed them, so they are working now. Okay, back to talking. Now, you wanna talk about it yourself, or you want me to play it and just talk?
You can talk. We would like to know what you think about it.
Of course, that in a moment. Okay, so this game is about painting skulls. It's about painting skulls because of a Celtic tradition, and yeah, the main storyline is that you owe them money, so you have to paint skulls so that you earn enough money to live, or else you die, basically. And yeah, you get customers who are very picky, and they ask you to paint a skull in a certain way. So, for example, here they will say about a name, and then we need to make the die. Was it? I don't remember where it was. I see. Wait, sorry, I'm playing on the small screen. Okay. And oh yeah. Yeah. Okay, so you have some crafting recipes. Thank you. Where you craft the paint, and then you take it. So you fill up the jar. You take the skull. You put it here, and then you paint the actual engravings that you can see here. And then, of course, when you are ready, you painted your perfect skull, you take it back to the client, and they pay you. You hope that they pay you enough to cover the rent. Of course, sometimes it's tough. Yeah, road. Whoa. Okay, I can pay this time. Was it this one? Oh, no. This. Okay. So yeah, you have different types of crafting, and you have different types of colors. So you have to find a way to basically manage all of the things while you try to keep your business up and running. Let's see if I can make it on time. I actually did. Yes. Okay, but that's the whole game. So I want to have more time to talk about it, so I will skip for now. And now the game that won. This is a game about. Okay, yeah, I think it should be okay. This is a game about killing monsters, I guess. This is about fighting your inner demons. Yes. Yes. It was announced on the final gala at the Austrian Cultural Forum. This game. Wait, it's on the other screen. It's happening. %50 done. This is why you do HIO builds, like WebGL builds, so that people don't need to do this. I see. You should upload a web build on itch.io, because most people will not care enough to download your game. Wait, why is it on this screen? Can I somehow move it over? Or am I doomed for eternity? Can I what if I do this? Can I do this? Is it smart enough? No. I wish it was. Okay, I guess we have to do it like this. It's a very art heavy and narrative heavy game, So you have some cutscene right now at the beginning. I will shut up now. I'm not fast enough. Okay, now we are in the game, so I will start skipping the dialogue. But basically, it's about cleaning the house because the legend tells about demons who come and find you when you did not clean your house. And the main part of the game is fighting with the monsters. Yeah, so for example, now I fight and now I have to do the minigame. This is quite embarrassing, but basically the more you do, the more damage you deal to the enemy, and then they reciprocate, firing back at you in a Undertale inspired style. And yeah, you have to survive to deal damage again. Here you have your HP, here you have the HP of the enemy left. I defeated the enemy, and yeah, through this interaction you progress further into the game. And oh yeah, sorry, I forgot about this. And yeah, you can also do the other actions like finding items, healing, and yeah, using your items. But basically, after every action, you have to pay the price of having to dodge their attacks. So yeah, I can just use the item, and yeah, it took 5 HP of damage, but it fires back at me. So yeah, that's basically the game. Now we go back to this, so we have some kind of a background. Yeah, we can just take a look at this awesome graphic. Now, these were the games. So now we're here to talk about the games. I see already started. It's a cool topic. Now, before we start, I want to ask you one question. Who did vote for this game as the best game?
Which one?
Your game, sorry. So the one that actually won, the last one I shot. Okay. I see. That's interesting because as you saw at the forum, most people voted for it. So
A lot of people.
yeah. But since you did, you wanna start with explaining why you did?
Personally, it comes down to a few factors. I didn't manage to play the mountain game, so I couldn't vote for it. But having seen the gameplay, I don't think I would have changed my vote. It doesn't mean it's bad, it's not just as good in my opinion, you know? Going in the order of the games that were shown, right? Then we have the dragon game, which it was nice. I enjoyed the time I had with it. I managed to beat it, but there were some things that still need to be polished. I don't think the structure of the level up system is a little unbalanced because usually there's more level ups during the game, so it means that the upgrades themselves are a little weaker. So they increment the power of the character by a less amount, you know? But with the structure of the game, you basically get 3 or 6 upgrades, and from what I talked with other people, the HP regeneration one, if you got that upgrade, which just increased your per second regeneration, you basically won the game because it outpaces the damage dealt to you. So even though usually in those games regeneration is like a nice thing to have, basically here trivializes the game. That's one point. The other point is that the breath attacks are like way stronger than the slash and the tail attack. That's the other point. The third point is that personally I didn't notice much of a difference between the fire and the ice breath. Because in the end I got one upgrade for the ice breath, which just increased its radius, and at that point that's all I had to use. Because 30% of the screen was covered by one attack. So even though it might have been less effective, with 1 second of cooldown it was shared between all of the abilities, you basically can just systematically thin down the fort to the point where it's no longer a problem. So it comes down to a few things, design-wise for the roguelike aspect of it. The other thing is that it has a structure of a roguelite, but it doesn't have the method for progression of it, so it's a self-contained thing, so you don't, between the runs, there's nothing that carries over, which is more akin to the usual roguelike, and less of a roguelite, but given that the file was trying to imitate like Vampire Survivors type of games, which are sometimes referred to as bullet haven, that's something, but it's not like a huge deal, you know, it's just a jump game. That's about the things I have for this game. The school painting game, I liked it. The art was incredible. I just had one pet peeve with it, is the fact that the hand that you're supposed to use for the red die and the green die is not told to the player that they have to go there to get the red die and the green die. So on my run, I barely managed to get the red die before the quota, and by the time I figured out how to do the green die, it was already too late and I lost. And I just think that the tutorials were a little misplaced, because you get the info on how to do something by the time you figure out how to do something, you know? So it's a little retroactive in this regard. For the tower defense game, I tried it 3 times. I didn't manage to kill a single enemy. Whatever combination of towers I tried. So the fact that the waves of enemies are random every single time doesn't really give you an idea of what you need to prepare, because some enemies are affected by some towers and not, because the debuffing tower, for example, doesn't work by actually debuffing the enemies, and they just strip away the effect from them, which means that the basic enemy has no interaction with this tower at all. They just do nothing to them, which is a bummer. And then, I don't know, for example, the cross deals a lot less damage than the totem, and also there is no effective range where you're placing the towers. You don't know if you're placing it in the right spot, because you think it's gonna cover about this area of the effect, right? But then you realize the actual hitboxes of enemies are very flat, so even though that their heads are walking through the hitbox, they don't hit it, because the hitbox is basically in the legs, you know?
Okay.
And then we go to the game that basically has no major gameplay problems, with another game with solid art, and just seems the most cohesive in its entire vision. And that's why I voted for the film game, right?
I see. So basically, it boils down to the gameplay problems you had with the other games, where it was just annoying in a sense that there were some things that did not let you play the way you wanted or you expected to play.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's one thing I could tell about this game that I don't understand fully, is that the attack that you had, attack pattern that you had after the spamming letters, is the one where the thing goes like here, right? I have no idea what you're supposed to do there actually. Because when I try to hit the middle, it deals not a lot of damage, and it's just I try to spam it multiple times. Maybe you have to hit it as many times as you can spam. Still doesn't do a lot of damage, so it feels weaker compared to the other 2 attacks, where one of the attacks is pressing the WSD keys in a random sequence. Then there is the attack where you spam one key as many times as you can to fill out the bar. That one attack only has the problem of that technically, with how many clicks are actually required of you in that short span, I just fear for the longevity of the keyboard. Because that's a lot of clicks. So that's another thing you could improve, but it's not a major issue in my opinion.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you. So then, I assume more people will raise their hands. So I have an opposite question. So who here disagrees with the verdict? You can raise your hand, you will.
Okay, fine, you got me.
Does anyone else disagree? Like strongly, or maybe not so strongly? Okay, I see most people are indifferent. What's your opinion?
Mine, okay. What's mine? Like, I just think that when it comes to the, I wasn't on the gun, and this is the first time I'm seeing this version of the game, right? So, from my perspective, I think as a team we developed the game much better comparing to the state where we were. We had a clear vision how we want to go further, and the most important thing for me is that when it comes to the saying the giving the culture, right? It was all about the culture of this jump. So we have a clear antagonist, and we have a game that portrays them as an antagonist, and it just tells the story, versus the game that takes the very simple idea of a guy with a sword, research the subject, finds that there is a small gimmick about their culture, and build entire gameplay around it. Like, Igor, I love your game, it's amazing, but from the culture perspective, you just did a visual story with telling the story, and we did a lot of research trying to establish what it means, the scouts.
A counterpoint here would be that this making a game that's just a reinterpretation of a story is not necessarily bad in and of itself. Like, I mean, people love The Witcher, even though it's just a retelling of a book. I mean, of course it's changed, but basically that's the main idea, right? So I don't think this is really a problem. I do agree that yours is less obvious, where it's a lot different spin on the topic than you would expect from hearing the topic of cells, right? But I don't agree with the fact that you say that this is too bland.
You know this is your so like
Yeah.
Yes, I expect a lot from people. Yes, that's true.
Okay. I guess so I have a trick question for you.
Okay.
When you had like these 4 categories, culture, gameplay, art, and presentation, which of the categories would your game win it at, and which categories would his game win at?
He's bullying me, bro.
No, I want to get a
I mean, it's-
full view.
it's
Okay.
very nasty question to ask somebody who participated.
No, okay, you don't need to answer if you don't want to. I can skip this question, but I'm just very
I
curious.
haven't saw your presentation.
Okay, we can skip the presentation.
Okay.
They both are good.
Yeah, I know. I want to be nice, okay? I try to be nice. Gameplay. Okay, again, like the pleasure of gameplay, probably both, but the depth of the gameplay, I think out, because you compare, like, I'm sorry, like, I'm biased here, I hate visual novels. I'm biased here.
You asked for us for creating a dating scene in Spark.
That was a joke, bro.
Well,
I have
it's already in production, so.
I have 3-hour conversation with Anya about visual novels and whether they are games or just applications. So, yeah. Okay. Let me put it that way. The quality, I think it's on your way, because I saw our version and I see like multiple ways how we could improve the UX. And your game is easy to pick up and play. That 100% agree. But with the depth of a gameplay and how we can go further with that, I believe our is much more better. And that's the question what jury wants. If they want a ready project, a ready game right now, then yeah. Exactly, it's the way to go. But if what we thought is that this road to Digital Dragons will be a huge deal, so we created a base that will be expanding upon during the mentorship. So that's I think why we are really pissed, because we spent a lot of time as a team to establish a lot of mechanics that we can play around, and we just didn't get the time to do it.
I see. Thank you for your opinion. Now I guess the plot twist here is that I personally voted for your game as the jury, and everybody else voted against it. So I'm kind of bullying you, but at the same time, I get you. At the same time, this does not mean that I don't like your game, because it's quite the opposite. It's just that I guess the issue here lies with the fact that different people focus on different aspects. Because I guess smoothly moving on to my feedback section. My biggest achievement on Ulex game, so the Skull one.
Kolya's game.
Okay, but you were here and you were talking to me. Kolya's game was that for me it looked the most sellable. So, as you told us right a moment before, you created a vision which can be expanded, and I believe your vision. When I saw the game, I thought, okay, these are the mechanics that could tell a story, and this is why I believe that you could put the game on the Steam store. So basically, when I imagine the games on Steam, this one fit the most. I'm, I guess, kind of brainwashed by Daniel Sheck. If you know, you know. I love games with great gameplay. That's why I also wanted to go for your game, because I saw the potential. At the same time, I have to agree, your game is still buggy. Like, it's not a smooth experience at all. The hitboxes, fucked. Like, every time I tried to walk up to something, it was not registering correctly. I don't know if you did some changes to the system of like 2D layers that you had previously, but I'm still not sure if this is the best solution here. Because let me just pull up the game for a moment, just to illustrate what I mean. I'm talking about basically interacting with the world, and I mean, I guess this is also this is not the same thing that Marek was talking about, but I think it also kind of contributes to the pet peeve sections. So when I get the skull, and then, for example, I walk up to here, like I cannot use it because I have a skull, which, like, from a gameplay perspective, you don't need to carry the skull anywhere because you will use it only in this place, right? So maybe it should be highlighted that you have to place it here, because like the first time I was playing, I was very confused. Why do I have the skull? Why cannot I interact with anything? And then, yeah, like, why does it not work here? If I was coming through here, I would try to go here, you know? And also I think the hand was like, why is it not highlighting now, even though I'm standing right next to it? Of course, I know this is kind of cherry picking, but this is also something, look, like I go through here and I go here, it does not register. I go here and I go this place, like I was stuck in this corner and it registers now. So from my perspective, it felt junky. Even though the gameplay was supposed to be here, I felt kind of frustrated because of the small things. So once again, like Marek said, I felt kind of annoyed. Even though I saw the potential, I still see it. I mean, I do agree that this has potential. It's just that the community vote kind of shows that people don't really like when there is some things that annoy them, because I think your game was third in the community vote, this game. Even though it looks great, and in my opinion it has a lot of potential, I guess the truth is that people just played it and felt frustrated. Because basically when we were discussing this, I told them like, yeah, this is a 5-minute fix. But at the same time, if this is a 5-minute fix, why is it here? It's a month.
It's not a 5-minute fix. Because for some reason artists said that they want a 2D game in 3D space, and actually this is 3D.
Wait.
And
What do you think? Is it 2D game or 3D game?
Yeah, exactly.
It looks totally 2D.
No, it's 3D.
It's a 3D space.
But why?
Because
Because
it's
they
supposed to be on a 2.5D, and later on we established. Yeah, wait.
Walls are 3D.
We are cooking. So later in the development we established that we don't know how to do 2.5D. So Kolya did amazing job with camera spacing, so it looks like 2D, but it's not. So yeah.
What?
Yeah, like the walls and the floor is 3D, like it's a plane, it's like this and the wall.
Oh, that's good, interesting.
Yeah, actually, bro.
I'm just
The
sitting
amount of
here
time
and I'm
we
afraid
spend
of
on
my life or something. Okay?
Like this visually does
I'm
absolutely
surrounded by
nothing.
naked.
Yes.
It's unbearable, like there is no difference that you can see, yet it breaks so much of collisions, physics,
Yeah.
like camera layering. We fucked for like maybe 2 or 3 days with just setting up the scene.
But it's sorting layers. Why? Why not? it would literally.
Then you kind of can see the 3D. If, for example, when you come closer to the camera, the character gets bigger.
Really?
Yeah. And this is like what the 3D does. And there are some things like this.
Oh yeah.
Still can be done without making it a game.
Bro, it was a hard game, so okay.
Okay, now I see, and now it's tripping me out. When I know that it's in 3D, this feels so weird because I can see the collider moving back on the Z-axis. That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean,
Yeah, so this was the problem. We should have just gone with 2D in the first place, but we didn't.
you definitely should.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
And this is what bugs all of the collision and like highlighting the objects with, like, for example, the hand, because it's high up for collision purposes. And
I mean, but this also explains why, for some reason, I once got stuck like behind this, even though I should not be technically behind this. I'm not sure how I did this, so I'm not sure if I can replicate it in some way. I guess not. Maybe it was very specific. But yeah, let me see my notes. Yeah, I have to admit, like here, the game loop is very clear. That's I guess an extension of what I said previously with the most publishable game, where I look at it, I hear this sentence, you paint skulls, you solve them, and I know exactly how the game will look like. So that's a big plus. Of course, as Marek said, the art is very cool. The backstory is indeed very niche, and I personally appreciate it. It is way too hard. As Marek said, it's way too punishing for people. That's also something that a lot of people told me. Basically, yeah, I tried this game, but I lost before I could get to all of the content. And this could also be a factor of why people felt frustrated. I guess this circles back to the same thing. I guess it was just like stacking of the frustration levels to a point where people felt that this is not a game for them. Because I mean, I played your game before, so I kind of had the idea of what to do, and I was backseated a bit, where you told me, go here, go here, go here, and I tried it, but if someone did not have the same experience, then I literally saw them losing at like the rose segment. So the second thing. Yeah, way too punishing, and at the same time, I know this is not like changing this counter is just one float variable, right? But this is another thing that contributes to the feeling that if it's so simple, why did you not change it before? Because this is not related to the 3D. This feels like you did not playtest your game, or you playtested it only on yourself and did it fast. So from the perspective of a player of the game, it's just way too punishing. I'm trying to explain how other judges felt, because treat my words as extensions of words of everyone I talked to at the gala and afterwards. As also Marek mentioned, the tutorial cuts off way too early and then appears at random moments. So I did not feel guided. When I launched the game, I felt like, wow, you made a tutorial, it's gonna be so great. And then after the first tutorial ends, I felt lost. Like at the start of the game, because the thing that you mentioned where you can hover on this, I don't think was explained in the tutorial. So I did not have an idea that I have the recipe and I don't have to find out. And of course, if I knew about this, then maybe this would not be so frustrating where I don't have enough time to actually go for it. But I just did not get to experience this. And this begs for another question. If you had the tutorial in place, why not just expand it a bit more so that everything is explained? Hello. Yeah, and I guess also people told me that they dropped the skull at one point and they did not have an idea what to do because the game tells you can drop your skull, you place it somewhere, and then you're kind of lost. Of course, this could also be explained in the tutorial, but I guess it all boils down to the fact that the gameplay issues are kind of worrying because of the things that I mentioned, and this in turn led to player frustration. That's everything I have written down for your game. Does anyone have something to add here after hearing what I was talking about? Maybe some defense from you if you want.
When we know a lot of those things, we will get rid of the spool as an object completely, so you don't have to push it around. But a tutorial, maybe with like videos playing with like somebody already doing the mechanics, like putting the egg in the thing, so the player doesn't have to read but just can look at the video and just realize what's going on. Clearer selection, this is also like fixable.
Also,
I mean, at this point, it will require so much time to rebuild this scene again.
It's gonna require so much wasted time making this game in 3D, like continuing it.
I mean, it depends on how much we're going to fix it. If we're going to make it playable, then I think we'll stick to 3D. If we are going to sell it, actually, because there are talks about it that we might actually develop it and put it on Steam, then we'll switch to 2D, obviously. But it's a question of this.
Just don't fall for the sunken cost fallacy where you just did this and you're thinking, no, we cannot redo it because it's gonna take so much time. I think like literally you have the assets, right? Putting it on sorting layers.
The scripts of like
I
the physics
see.
scenes, they behave on 3D logic.
I guess, but you said yourself that these would be easier on 2D logic.
Yeah, if we did it in 2D in the first place. But now
Yes.
we have to rewrite all the scripts to be into 2D.
Yes, I guess.
I mean, we will think about it. Obviously, we're also thinking that we'll make levels. And for example, in the first level, there is just black paint. And the player just masters it, and there's a level that has...
I think
Yeah,
that
that's it.
yeah, that's my idea. I will offer. I feel like the painting creating the paint is too abstract process. Like when we play Overcooked, it's much more simpler. When we have a cucumber in place to chop the cucumber, it's much more obvious than how to create the black paint, right?
Yeah.
So and the game fully starts when you have like all the paints and you need to mix them and make a lot of processes going at the same time. Manage all of
This
them.
is the part where no one got to.
Yeah, so maybe we need to add, and what do you think about it, having a first level where you have just the black paint, having then the second level that you have just the red paint, you teach how to have those different paints, then you have the small mix, and then you have increase, like this stage where you have a three different paints, and you use 3 different paints on one skull should be like the end game, like 5th level, right?
I'm gonna one up you on this one. Make it not losable if you're making a tutorial.
I mean, actually,
That's
the time
simple.
starts only after you sell the school right now.
But the first skull is the easiest to make. And then the player feels lost, the timer is ticking. You should explain the mechanics in an environment where the player is not rushed. They have the time to understand what's going on. They are told what to do, and then they are forced to make the same thing that is explained in the tutorial. That's, of course, I know the scope was small, you did not have enough time, but speaking on a professional level, you should force the player to watch the tutorial right before using the mechanic. And then, if you force the player, then it should not have a time limit. So I would even suggest making it so that if the part that should be engaging is the chaos, then make it so that first the player can learn everything and then use it. Overcooked, for example, you put it as an example, has this mechanic where if you have to learn a new type of food, the timer is not ticking at all until you finish your first dish. I don't know if you noticed it, but it actually works in this exact way. Normal level, you start, timer starts ticking. But if there is like a new recipe, you know, like, I don't know, unlock sushi, and this forces the player to do the dish because they only have one order. This order is the new sushi, and the timer is not ticking, so they have enough time to actually do it in their own pace, and only then, when they are ready, when they confirm they are ready by sending the dish, then the game actually starts. So, definitely, make it easier than, make the tutorial easy, but not dumb. Like, the player wants to start playing the game, right? They don't want to watch a show reel only showing like the whole game in a video, but it should be an interactive guide to guide the player through the game.
I think that's the main issue of our game. Like it's overwhelming at the beginning. You have too many abstract things you need to understand, you need to think about, and then there is a time limit, put it on you. There's just too much at the start of the game.
Yes, definitely. Okay, on to the next game. Since we started already talking about it a bit, let's talk about the winning game. So, the feedback for you that I gathered. Of course, the art direction is exceptional. Everyone knows this, but just to make sure, for those who don't know, this game was made by a team consisting of like 4 artists, 1 programmer and 1 designer.
Because technically I did art. More than
Okay, so yeah, as you can see, a lot of people worked on the art direction, so it's no wonder that it turned out great. People definitely praise your vibe overall. They just felt like the game was cool, and I guess sometimes that's enough to convince the player to play their game. Because, I mean, let's be honest, in the end, sometimes when you buy a game on Steam, it's just that it has the vibe. You don't really think about the exact things that make you buy the game, it's just that you want it. And that's as shallow as it can get. So even though it sounds like it's a nothing burger, it's a lot of praise from the people because they feel compelled enough to vote for your game. My personal thing that bugged me the most was that there are no indicators for the like balls that go from the side. It just feels so weird that when it falls down from the sky, it's well marked with an X, and then when it goes from the side, you just have to side read it like, is it gonna go here or is it gonna go here?
I mean,
If there was like a line that showed you where, like every rhythm game, every Dodge type of game has this. Even Undertale has this, right? No?
No,
X.
it's like, not
Okay.
with all attacks. With X is only attacks that with battles that drop from above. And
Okay.
things that shoot you from the sides and from the bottom, they are like
projectiles.
they are small projectiles and they are also fall from above, but you have more time to see them because there's more space above. So yeah, technically it's just the wall pattern without indications. But I believe it's not that annoying since I haven't seen players die to it. There was a lot of
I
problems
did
with
take a
hands.
lot of damage. That's
Well,
for
yeah, but
sure.
you didn't die.
Maybe.
Because if we indicated them, like a lot of people will just dodge them easily.
Okay. I guess I'm just bad at the game.
No, I just wanted to say that I feel you because the patterns, like the of those bullets, are there. He told me to hit them.
Yeah, I mean, it was a decision that I made, yes, and I still think it's okay, but maybe we need to put the whole stage more in the middle, so we have more time to react to this.
Maybe. I'm not sure. This is just a hunch that tells me that something is odd here. I don't have to be right always. Just I'm giving you feedback, so I might as well mention it. Maybe it's just that sometimes I feel like the attack is predictable and sometimes not. So maybe it's better to, for example, make it so that one attack is patterned, where you have like, and it just like shows you every type and it's like harder. And then there is one that is just random, so it's a bullet hell, and then it's not indicated, so that you don't have lines everywhere. That's just some idea from the top of my mind. You don't need to implement it.
It was really fun to watch, like people just ignore that little bullet that goes from down in the middle when it's the area when you hide, and there's always this bullet that goes, and everyone's like every time they're just standing there. Like even if they got hit by it like 5 times, they still got in the middle.
Maybe this tells you something.
The people do not observe things.
Well, you know, it's not always the player's fault.
Yeah, I understand. Like there is a problem, I see, but it's still really funny.
Okay. Something that some people brought up is that there is not enough attacks.
For the fluttering thing, I have an idea because the thing about the indicators like the whole screen, those were usually reserved for attacks that take up the whole of the screen then. For those attacks, if you could do something like that, instead of the bottle just straight up falling, it could manifest for like a 0.5 second and then start falling, so it's telegraphed. It doesn't tell you exactly the path, but it tells that around here there is going to be an attack. You should be wary, right? Because you cannot do lines every single time, so that's gonna just clutter the screen. But because you couldn't do the thing that with the triangles that they do sometimes, you know, that the danger is coming. It doesn't really work for the balls. But like a visual of it appearing and then just, you know, that could work. It's just a suggestion.
Yeah, that's why I mention it, because a lot of games do this, right? Where you, for example, have a red arrow that flashes on the like side of the screen. That from here there is gonna be a projectile. I'm not gonna tell you exactly where it's gonna be, but then the player has a clear pattern indication from the start. Wait. So just so that we're clear what I mean. Let me attack and be attacked. I hope I get the exact attack that I'm hoping for.
you something that bugs me a little bit is how the user interface art style is just so different from like the environment
Oh,
and
here.
animal design. Like in general. Like, for example, here it looks okay, but most of the text, yeah, the font, for example, right here in the text.
Yeah, you have one kind of response here. Yeah, and it was made in different terms of time, and then was little to polish it to the.
Yeah, no, I understand.
How did you mark it?
Okay, so as you can see right now, these things are telegraphed, but these side things are not telegraphed, which makes me like I don't, because it looks very similar, right? So I have no idea if it's very fast and at the same time which one is the one that falls from the sky, and I have to dodge it by going, because like when where are the markers? I need a marker. I guess this is the thing that bothers me. So when you have the screen and then it shows you like this, and then you have a projectile that looks like this, and it falls here, but it deals no damage here, only here, and then there is a projectile that looks like this, a bit different, and then it just goes like this, and when I get hit here, I get damage. So they look very similar, they behave in a totally different way.
Then maybe a slightly different color.
Yes, for example, this could be a big change. Try it, because it's not a big change, and I think it could help with readability, because I was not the only person who mentioned the fact that they are not telegraphed well enough. Okay, what's next? What's next? Not enough attacks overall. Of course, that can be fixable, but usually when you have different bosses, you would expect different attacks from them, like different ways to defeat them, or different patterns. So right now, I think it's that every attack can be made on every boss, and every boss's defense can be seen everywhere. Like, is it set for certain bosses, or?
Each boss has their patterns of attack, but they use the same like abilities technically.
Okay.
But for example, the first one has only one hand, so the attack with hand that rolls to you is only one hand. The second one has no hands, so there's no hands, and the third one has two hands, so there's two hands that roll to you.
Okay. I see.
Yeah, the second boss has random appearance of falling bubbles. And
Then my suggestion here is that in games like these, you want to make the bosses memorable. Like, people love sand, for example. So I think it would be beneficial if you make it so that a certain type of attack is accessible only in one boss. Maybe it's progressive, right? So it starts with one hand, and it becomes two hands, and so that it differentiates a bit the attacks. But for now, I felt like the attacks were the same on every boss, but slightly changed. But I did not feel the uniqueness of combat for each boss. That's basically what I'm trying to say here. Of course, that's a thing to expand on. Yeah. The game was simple and it was readable. Like, when someone came up to this game and they saw this screen, they already know what's happening. When they see someone fighting, they can see what the gameplay is about. So that's a big upside, of course, because well, I guess this could also be kind of an important thing, because usually when players look at a game, they want to compare it to something. So if I go looking for a game that's similar to what I play, then I will definitely be doing comparisons. So someone looks at this and says, wow, this is Undertale. It's not a bad thing that you copied Undertale. It's a good thing because the player sees the genre clearly. So you know how to take inspiration and make it for something that's yours. And this is, I guess, something that other games may have struggled with, where a person going up to a computer scene in the game would not be sure what the genre is about. This is also a problem with games that are kind of experimental, like the Skull Painting one, because yes, it's got good art, but at the same time, you don't know exactly what's gonna happen in there. So this is also a factor. Of course, I know I keep repeating the community vote. It was not a deciding factor in the overall voting, but it just like shows you that people do care about all the things. And I think simplicity of a game is good because just to compare it to Steam once again, if you don't know what the game is about when you're browsing Steam, then you won't really take your time to get to know what the game is about if it does not have the vibe. Because like, I don't really know, I don't understand this game next, right? You have a lot of choice, you can just skip to the next one. That's why it's good to have something that's clear to the player. Yeah, so that's the point about clear reference and clear game loop. It's a strong hook. I have to say it's a cool spin on the topic, even though it's quite literal. It's still I think interesting for the player because I mean this game could be sold in one sentence, right? It's just something that you tell to the audience, and once again, they are already in the know. They know what the game will be about when you explain it briefly to them, and that's also a big deciding factor. So to summarize the comparison of the two, because like the Skull game was the second closest one to winning. I guess the final vote came down to the fact that, as I said previously, Skull Game felt less polished, even though it felt like they did more improvements, but at the same time their game was much buggier at the Jam era. And I guess it's also important that it had the vibes, because in the end, when the Austrian Cultural Forum wants to show your game, they want people to pay attention to the game, right? They want the branding, they want the basically outreach that your game will give them. Of course, it's non-profit for them because they're a cultural institution, but if their goal is to spread culture, then a game that's got the vibe that is easy to understand what it's about, it has a good hook, and it looks like the gameplay fits with the theme, it basically makes for a very strong candidate to show somewhere as a, I guess, token of work, right? So I have to agree here that it's a very good game. The game really presents itself well, that's what I'm saying. And yeah, of course, just to mention it once again, I'm not a hater of the game. This is also our baby, of course, so don't treat my vote for their team as a vote against you. I just love them, and I feel like this is the part where you can improve the most with, for example, the different attacks and different phases, more uniqueness to the game. I'm still not the biggest fan of the stunning attack. This might be just me, but basically making more attacks would definitely make it more fun. And one pet peeve that I actually had here, picking up the item for 5 damage is useless. Like, I deal more than 5 damage every time.
Yeah,
So it's just
Yeah, in the previous build, it was the other way around actually, because
yeah,
with
yeah.
the requirements for the spamming in that build, you dealt around 2 or 3 damage with the attack, and the bosses had much less HP, right?
Yes.
And the items still dealt 5 damage, so for 2 of the 3 bosses, you basically had to find 1 or 2 of these items to win.
Yeah.
The final boss was harder, but for a different reason.
You have to balance it because if no one uses it, then why keep it in the game, right?
Yeah. So the problem was it's like 2 hours till the gala, and we are talking about what should we improve right now so the game will be better at vanilla and then what should be improved next, and then it comes to balance and like, okay, I guess we need to fix attacks more than we need to fix latency.
Yeah.
But technically we wanted to get rid of find item button
Mhm.
and to find them inside the scene. So because like we have nothing to do within the scene.
Yeah.
Maybe with some cultural background for items that we find. And then in the battle itself we have only use item or ones that we found. Yeah.
Yeah, so this of course can be improved, but you already know this. And also something to maybe also consider is that if you want to keep the find item button in the game, maybe it should have, for example, an easier minigame or something like this, where the player actually has to make a choice that's not one-dimensional. Like, if full HP, attack. If low HP, heal. Because there is like no real choice, because the game can be optimized very easily. Like attack, 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 heal. Attack, 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 heal. So there could be some depth added here. And as you mentioned, some items, some things that stir things up, basically. And I think that's all for your game. Now on to your game, because I know you're here, so you also deserve a thorough analysis. Now, okay, so what do I have here? Hello. Great gameplay. I loved it. For if gameplay was like the only if fun was the only factor, then your game would win by my opinion. At the same time, I have to be honest, it fell short because I felt like you pulled way too many punches. Like you had this type of a blow and then you stopped right before because I felt like you felt intimidated by all the effects that you were doing, because like the chaotic sounds are a good hint of what the game should be. Of course, right now it's not mixed well, but it's chaos. Everything happening everywhere all at once. So make it look like chaos more, make it feel like chaos more. If you have the attacks, make them feel super good. If you have, or if you wanna make the enemies feel strong, make them actually feel much stronger. Because for now, I felt like I had fun, but I had fun for 5 minutes because the game felt like it could be expanded way deeper and be made way just, I guess, more exciting to play. Because when you play the game, you can feel this. How could you call this? You feel like there could be more. Basically, you feel not satisfied enough with what's here because you, at least I, believe that there could be much more gameplay. I mean, I guess Marek also said it well, where this type of attack felt underwhelming in comparison to the attack, right? So this looks way more fun, and like, yeah, there is the screen shake, that's good. But the arrows, for example, like they don't look scary at all. Like it's like a small fart when it could look like it's a, I don't know, a flaming arrow that's gonna kill you. Yeah, here we can talk about the collisions, cause what the hell is this? Like, someone suggested that your dragon is a cube, like a square. Is it true? Is the collisions a square? If yes, you don't have to answer this question. If yes, please change it ASAP, because the player should feel better than they are actually in reality, because the core fantasy here, the player fantasy here is that I'm a big dragon, I'm killing people, and then you get stuck on a fucking house. Like this totally breaks the immersion for the player, because of how not strong I feel. Because there are these moments, and that's why I'm talking about the fun, when there are a lot of enemies. I feel like I'm actually doing stuff, but then I get stuck on one peasant and on one small lantern. Like, come on, me, an ancient dragon, stuck, like dying because of a lamppost that goes on top of you. Like, it could have been so much more. And yeah, also like, come on, he's literally inside me. Why is he not dying right now? It's just these little things that make me want to scream at you for not making it even more fun, because it has a lot of potential, in my opinion. And yeah, as Marek said, if you make attacks that are elemental, you should make it even clearer. Because even at the gala, I was not sure if I'm doing something, because you told me that yeah, the peasants do freeze, but at the same time, like, look, this base also blue. It looks like it also does damage to him, and I think it does not. Like, but it's not clear to me as the player whether it actually matters which attack I use, and it definitely should not be the case if the game is about switching your attacks, because exactly as Marek said, if I'm a big ass fucking dragon and I wanna feel cool, why don't I just go like this and kill everything with fire? Because that's how dragons work, right? I don't really see another choice right now as the player, because there is not enough indication. And yeah, I mean, this damage, this is also a step in the right direction, right? I feel like I'm doing something. I don't know what the numbers mean totally. Like, they could be random for me, but they appear on the screen. They make you feel something. They make you feel powerful, and this is why I really liked your game, even though there are some things that I would change a lot. Yeah, regarding other things. Some of the mechanics are glitchy, like for example, the fire breath, as I showed, is not exactly connecting every time, and yeah, this is a perfect example of what I meant when I said I felt powerful when I played the game. Sometimes you can make clunky mechanics, like with the arrows going up and down with the breath, right? But for some players, it felt like it was okay. You could make the player fantasy, you being a dragon which is just a mess. They cannot turn around, they are really trying their best, but it's very hard for them to maneuver. But then it should feel like the dragon is an elephant. Just really emphasize this, because right now this looks like a bug, and you don't want your features looking like a bug. So this was probably the thing that most people talked to me about, that the controls were not clear in the end. And for me, when I saw that you can use the arrows to actually change the angle at which you fire, then I felt like it could be expanded more in this direction, where you are on purpose kind of janky, but you should either or, right? You choose a direction and you stick with it, because sometimes making a janky game is the way to go, like getting over it. It works because the controls are trash. But if the controls are trash and they don't feel like they should be trash, then you have a problem, a big one that is. So this, in the end, was a decisive issue for most people. Yeah. What else? Yeah, as I mentioned already, it does not feel well defined enough in some areas. For example, the elemental attacks area, it feels like it goes in two directions at once, which is always not the best. Similar to what I talked about here. If you see a game, you want to know what it's about at the first glance. You want to see a game and know how to play it. That's a perfect scenario. When you look here, you see the different attacks. You think they do something. You play. They don't really do anything for you as the player, and you're confused. This is not a good sign. The idea is cool overall. I like your execution, of course. Yeah, and change the colliders, please, because it's just another example of bad user experience that ruins the game, where the player just feels frustrated because they don't feel powerful enough. And supporting the core player fantasy is one of the most important things that you can do in a game where it's so much needed. Okay, that was your game. Now we have a bit of time, so I'm gonna go through the two other things quickly because they are not here, but maybe we can learn something from them either way.
Forums?
Hmm?
Did you publish forums for Google forums for community to react on our games and write feedback?
Yeah, no one did. So
No, I like zero.
Maciek did today, but other than that, zero.
I was going to, but I was no, thanks.
But you're here,
Yeah.
and you did bring a lot of feedback with you. So yeah, I would share it with you, but there is nothing to share. And the one response that was there, I put it here. But I talked to a lot of people in person, so I think that's mostly the bigger picture. So yeah, just to go really quickly through the games. Let's start with this one because it's funny. When I talked to Daniel about it, he said to Grzesiek, the guy who programmed the game, "What is this game?" I don't know, like tower defense. No, but think deeper. What is it about? I don't. Strategy. It's about strategy. Yes, like a tower defense. Then why there is no strategy in this game? Because when you look at this map, when I play the game, of course, we can talk about whether it should be procedurally generated or not, but why should I not put everything here? Every path goes to here. If I spam all the totems, all the defenses here, I win every time. If I not do this, then I lose every time. Where is the strategy? There is no strategy. So that's basically why some players who are not maybe too familiar with the genre try to place it like here, yeah, I'm gonna be strategic, yeah. And then they lose. And the game feels way too hard. And then I play the game, I put everything here, and I sit back and I win every round, and they say, yeah, you're gonna win like 5 next rounds because it's not gonna get much harder. It's not really a great outlook when you're trying to make a game that's strategy. Though Daniel mentioned that in his opinion, this is a game with the most potential because of different ways to execute the idea of a tower defense, but still, they need the strategy here first. And of course, there are other things that that matter as well, which is, for example, why not make a speed up button? Like the slowest enemies are so slow, it's gosh darn painful to sit and just wait, even though you already know if you won or not. So yeah, there are also things that make it kind of annoying to play. Maybe. It definitely could be a way to look at this. I don't know why they did not do it like this. Unfortunately, they're not here with us to tell you.
I don't. They came from 4 different sides, and there wouldn't be overlapping paths. I don't think there's just enough damage that you can get from the 100 steps. That's my assessment.
Maybe.
But that's a whole
But
other.
there are definitely a lot of ideas of how to expand on this. Yeah. Uh, this is probably the most lost potential in a game, but overall it's okay. It's just, I mean, the UI is quite fitting. There is some kind of a tutorial. I did not feel too lost. A lot better than it was after the jam. Like as I said, there is just no strategy in a strategy game, which is enough to disqualify it. Okay, and the last game. The last game is also a funny example because actually I don't think I'm gonna play it until that moment. But basically, the game is about the premise of you changing time. The main mechanic at one point becomes the fact that when you're in one dimension and then you change the dimensions, you stay in that place in this dimension because of some kind of aura, so that you can solve puzzles where you go to this area, then you move in the other world, and then you go back to this world, and then something happens. You know, this kind of entanglement where you have to really think about this. And then I play the game. I use this technique. I feel smart, you know, as the player. Okay, I think I figured this out. And then it turns out that I moved in the other dimension. There was a bug that made so that it did not actually stay in place.
I remember we were because Zahar, who one of the main programmers, is in our company, and after one call, we were sitting like my main designer, my actual game director, me, and Zahar, and he was showcasing this game, and nobody could understand how this works. Nobody! Like, you change the timeline, but you don't change the position, but the layer change. Like, what is happening?
No, but okay, to make it super clear, there is this area, and the game tells me, okay, if you are here, in this area, then you will not move when you change the time, okay? The game really stresses this. So I'm like, okay, there is a pressure plate here, so I stay on the pressure plate, and I'm good. I'm gonna solve the puzzle. I turn around to the other dimension, I come back, and the player is not here. He's here. Like, what? The game told me 3 times that I'm not gonna move in this dimension. How come? Why? This was so frustrating, because it was the only thing that the game promised to deliver, and it did not because of a bug. It's once again the fact that, yeah, the game could look good, but when the gameplay just lacks, then yeah, it's definitely not the best feeling in the world. Other than that, I mean, it's also not defined as well as it could be. It's definitely got some differences in the foreground and the background level of detail, and the controls are kind of clunky. It's also probably the fact that it's also 2.5D, so they had some problems with the 3-dimensional platforming in a 2-dimensional space actually. But yeah, the most important thing was that the main mechanic was glitching. When you have one mechanic that should be good, it definitely cannot be glitching at all. They should put, if the game looked 10 times worse, but the main mechanic was working, it would be way better. Yeah, I guess that's it. One thing to add is that somehow people still liked it, so I guess the game at least portrayed the vibe okay, because when I talked to people, they said, yeah, I did not play, but it looked cool. So I guess it also points to the direction of making a game that's presentable, especially in times when there is not enough time for anything. Do you have any questions or remarks?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
Very important one. How are you?
I'm good.
That was a very sad.
I'm quite busy, but it's alright. So I'm good because it's not bad. Why? The lack of bad things happening is a good thing. No? No, I'm not. That's why I said I'm good. It's I mean, to be honest with you, it's sometimes tough to be the leader because you have to do all the administrative work. So, like, I'm not saying it's perfect because I have to spend a lot of time doing things like the forms or something where no one responds. But I don't think it's a wasted effort. That's why I'm saying I'm good because I like it.
You're getting the skills to create forms.
Yes, very important, very important. No, but I'm not sad, that's for sure.
That's good.
Thank you for asking. One more thing. Benjamin asked you to send clips from your games so that they can show it. And we will be sending the feedback form for the whole event so that this one you should fill out. Please do. It's actually more important because, well, we want to continue doing this. So if you could leave us some opinions on how you felt throughout the event and how you feel afterwards, what should be changed, what should not be changed, everything like this. Yes.
Table layout.
What?
Table layout for the guard.
Table layout.
Yeah.
Why?
It was also
What the final gameplay?
when game testing,
Yeah.
there was a table layout of tables.
Yeah.
Our keys. And during the first layout,
Mhm.
was quite good because it was around windows and you have like a lot of space with windows.
Mhm.
But now you have this huge line of desks
Mhm.
with front space
Mhm.
walls and the table space. And if you want to hear feedback from two people playing two computers, you need to run like this.
I see.
Yeah, so it was awful.
Would making it be just that two computers from the same team are next to each other help at all?
Yeah, but I know still a lot of people like free space in the middle.
I
But
see.
two next to each other are a bit like.
Okay. Makes sense. Anything else to add from you guys? Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you even more much to the people who participated in the event for making this happen. Just, I guess, one more thing to add is that, of course, you can develop the games further because they are yours. They are literally yours. The uni has no rights to the games. The Austrian Cultural Forum has no rights to the game. They have the rights to show the version you provided for the gala for their promotional purposes, but still you own all the copyrights. So for example, if you want to go show your game on a competition, you're more than welcome to. For example, if you're still students, the ZPGK competition is a great way to, for example, take your team to actually push it a bit further. If you're not familiar with what it is, I think I talked about it a bit, but basically it's just a student competition of people showing their games. Why is it in Chinese? I have no idea, but trust me, it's in Poland. It's in Łódź. Yeah, it's like the most I guess renowned competition in Poland. It's for students and it's for up to 6 people. Fortunately, we made it so that your teams this year are of only maximum 6 people. So if you wanted to, you can develop it further, show it elsewhere. We're really trying to support you in this. I will be trying to figure out more ways for you to go to conferences. So if you show me that you have a product that you can show as a way to promote yourself, to promote our activities, then let me know. This could be the game that you develop further and make it your own, your best project. This is just from my personal experience, a good way to get some motivation for the team, because sometimes when you're doing indie development during your studies, it can feel quite tiresome because you always have something to do, and having this type of your real deadline, where there is a deadline for a submission and then there is actual competition, can make you just more focused on creating something if you want to. Of course, I don't require you to keep working on the games. You can just throw them out into the trash can and make something else. I'm just letting you know that the school likes it when you have something and you can show it, because that's promotion for them. And when it's promotion for them, they're inclined to give us money to show these things. So,
Win-win.
yes, it is a win-win. That's why I'm trying to give you a subtle hint that if you keep working, you might be rewarded. And yeah, that's all. Thank you so much for coming, and we'll see each other next week with some of you. If not, then you probably saw that we're making a game jam. If you're interested, then fill out the form. If you're interested but still looking for a team, you can also fill out this option. And yeah, stay updated. I think it's gonna be fun. There are no prizes, but it's basically what
enjoyment. This is the prize.
yes, it's what it's what people ask us to do, so we will be trying to do it.